Hey guys, Koukun here, coming at you with another video about real estate investing. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to prepare yourself as a real estate investor with this COVID-19 pandemic that we're going through right now now it's April of 2020. So the first thing that I've said now to quite a few of the clients I've talked to so far has been, first look at your personal situation. Look at your work, look at your personal finances. Do you have funds set aside for an emergency? Do you have funds set aside should you lose your job? Now is the time to look at your source of income as, is it stable? Is it unpredictable? Is there the chance that the income could go down? So you want to make sure that you create a buffer for yourself first, just personally. Once you've set that aside, you know you're secure or you have enough funds to be secure for a good chunk of time, and you still have funds available, now is the time to prepare yourself financially to make a purchase. So what I'm recommending quite a few of my clients and what I'm doing myself is we're refinancing our properties. Any property we've owned now for a good little bit that has some built up equity in it, we're going back to the banks, we're asking them to refinance it up to 80% so we can pull out that equity and have that funds available to make a purchase. The next is, like I mentioned in the last video about mortgage deferrals. If you have some mortgages that you can defer in order to free up some cash flow, to build up some of your bank accounts, to have more of a reserve savings, that's also probably a wise thing to do at this time. And now once you have this, you have your funds set aside, you have a good emergency fund for your personal life or your rental properties, and you have some funds available from refinances, now is the time to go out and make some purchases. Except in the next few weeks, in the next month or two, it's a good time to be looking, but be picky as well, because there are still properties priced as if the market is still on the tear that it was in January and February. Those are not necessarily the properties you want to buy at this time. You want to be picky and look for the properties that may need a little bit more work, those properties that have a seller that is a little bit more desperate, that needs to get out of the home. They may have already purchased their next home, they may have lost their job and are moving out of the province or moving to another town, and they just want out of their property. Those are the people to look for at this time, and they may be the ones to accept offers that are a little bit lower than the market values. You can get a little bit of a deal on the purchase. The important things to consider at this time, I'm not recommending anyone to necessarily go out and do flips or think you can time the market to buy properties at the absolute lowest and then sell it in a year. That's not the strategy I'm talking about. So with all my investors, I'm recommending buy and hold long-term rentals. So whatever property you're buying now, you can get a little bit of a deal on it per se, but if next month prices drop drastically, you're not going to lose money because you're not going to sell that property. You're going to hold it for the next 5, 10. I'm personally looking at my next purchases to be 20, 15-year investments. So whatever price I buy for it today, as long as I can rent it out, it can cash flow, I'm not worried about is the value going to go down per se, because even if it does, I'm holding on to that, and if I have more funds available, I'll probably buy when prices get even lower. I don't think I can time the market, so I'm not recommending you to either. What I am recommending is have the funds ready, be looking. You don't have to rush out right now, but if you have the funds available, when the opportunities come, you need to be ready to take action. That's my advice for you. Become financially secure. Make sure you have an emergency fund. Make sure if you have properties that you can defer the mortgages and build up some savings, you go ahead and do that as long as it doesn't affect your other plans, and have your funds available to go out and make a purchase when you find the right property that you are ready to hold on to for a long period of time. So I hope that helps. If you have any questions, always feel free to comment below, and until next time, all the best.